I'm not proud of what happened last week. With that, my winning streak came to an end. It lasted 1 week. Play the music. Look at the size of that loss. I can't do much worse than that, so I'm going to be bouncing back this week. UFC Fight Night, Edwards versus Brady, and we're getting straight into it in the lightweight division where we have Guram Kutateladze set the face off against Kaue Fernandes. And a lot of people are favoring the underdog in Fernandes, but I completely disagree with that. I think Kutateladze is taking a huge step down in competition. He's had a rocky road in the UFC. Against Brenner, he suffered a loss by finish, but he was dominating that fight up until that moment, and Brenner is a dog. Can't really scoff too much at that loss. However, you can at his last victory against Jordan Vucenic. He lost that first round, and he managed to show heart to come back in the second and third and win a decision that people think that he lost, but I think he kind of won that one. Against Kaue Fernandes now, he's faced Marcin, who absolutely sucks and is not on the same level as Guram, and he lost that fight. He is a guy that's going to be focused heavily on leg kicks, and he's going to try to outstrike Guram, but I see Guram implementing a very wrestle-heavy kind of game plan and getting the decision victory. These two guys are really hard to finish. Guram, you got caught by Brenner. That dude packs a lot of power in his punches, but I don't think Fernandes can put him out. And Fernandes has never been finished in his MMA career. So, I see this going by decision. No bet on it, but the pick is going to be Guram to get it done. Next up, we got Nathan Fletcher set to face off against Caolan, Loughran. And a lot of people don't know this, but this is actually a rematch. Where the first fight, Nathan Fletcher won by unanimous decision, and now they're matched up yet again. Caolan Loughran, he talks a lot, but he doesn't back it up. He's very, very low volume. Nathan Fletcher looked really good in his UFC debut. Not too great on the Contender Series where he lost to Con Offley, but I do see him getting the nod yet again against Caolan Loughran. Caolan Loughran, his volume is way too low, and I do see Nathan Fletcher managing to land more strikes, take the fight down to the ground, threaten submissions, can even get a submission, and he should get the nod. Placing a bet on Nathan Fletcher to win. Now on to the next one. Now on to the strawweights where we have Shauna Bannon set the face off against Puja Tomar, and these girls can finish a fight to save their life. This is definitely going towards decision, and I see it being favored towards Puja Tomar on volume alone. Puja is going to keep moving forward, and she is going to be getting hit often, but so is Shauna. And the refs may give the nod to the person using the forward pressure, who is going to be Puja Tomar. Next up, we got Andrey Pulyaev set the face off against Christian Leroy Duncan, and I believe Christian Leroy Duncan is going to win fairly easily. I'm not going to be placing a bet because he likes to style on fighters and he can win a decision or get the finish by KO, leaning more towards the KO, but no bet on this one. On to the heavyweights where we have Marcin Tybura set to face off against Mick Parkin. Now, bit of background on this one. Marcin Tybura is on a tear at the heavyweight division. Is it going to be enough? I don't think so. Mick Parkin, no, I don't think he can finish this fight, but I definitely see him benefiting off of being Tom Aspinall's training partner. Tom Aspinall faced Marcin Tybura in the past, had a training camp for him, absolutely starched him in the first round. But that knowledge that Tom Aspinall has on Marcin Tybura, coupled with being better than Marcin Tybura in every facet of MMA, it's just perfect for Mick Parkin. And I see him being able to use that knowledge to plan a proper game plan and get the victory. I'm placing a bet on Mick Parkin to get it done. Next up, we got Lonnie Kavanagh set to face off against Felipe dos Santos at the flyweight division. And Felipe dos Santos looked really good against Manel Kape and hasn't lived up to that hype since. I see Lonnie Kavanagh being able to win this fight by decision. But no bet on this one, but pay close attention to this one. We're going to see them in the ladder challenge. Next up, we got Herbert set to face off against Chris Padilla. And listen, a lot of people are backing Chris on this one, and I understand it. He packs a lot of power in those shots. But Herbert is so elusive and his striking is really, really technical. I see him being able to out-technique Chris Padilla, go to the judges' scorecard, and get the nod. Next up, we're going to Nathaniel Wood set the face off against Morgan Charriere. And I do believe Charriere is a much better fighter. He is so good. His record doesn't show it, but his matchup against Chepe Mariscal really impressed me. It showed that he's tough. It showed that he has power. It showed that he's willing to stick around. So fighting a guy like him over 3 rounds is going to be a challenge for absolutely anybody. I don't think Nathaniel Wood can do it. I don't think Nathaniel Wood could get the job done. So the pick and the play is going to be Morgan Charriere to get the job done. Next up, we're going to Jordan Vucenic, who we've mentioned in the past, coming off a loss against Guram Kutateladze. He's set to face off against Chris Duncan. Not Leroy Duncan, Chris Duncan. And the odds heavily favor Vucenic. I don't see value in that play, but I do see him getting the job done here. His cardio let him down in the first fight in the UFC, which is a short notice debut against Guram, and hopefully he's patched up on that. I do believe he has patched up on it, and he can take Chris Duncan down, take his back, get in a submission, but no bet on this one. The play is gonna be Jordan Vucenic to get it done. Next up, we got Molly McCann set to face off against Alexia Thainara, and listen, Thainara really impressed in her Contender Series fight, and Molly McCann, she hasn't shown high level of skill in the UFC. Yes, she has had highlight reel finishes with those spinning elbows, but apart from that, she hasn't shown technique in stopping takedowns, defending submissions, and I don't see her being able to beat Alexia unless she manages to get a finish, which is going to be pretty hard. Once she's striking, I see Thainara being a lot more technical, but her path to victory is trying to get the fight down to the ground and finish her by submission. I'm picking Thainara to win. I'm also going to be placing a bet on her to win. Next up, we're going on to the welterweight division where we have Kevin Holland set to face off against Gunnar Nelson. Now, which version of Kevin Holland are we going to get? Are we going to get the Kevin Holland of old who finishes guys in devastating fashion, or the one that shows up for the paycheck? Gunnar Nelson, very inactive fighter, but very good on the ground. I see this being a carbon copy of Kevin Holland's last fight, where René de Ridder managed to take him down in the first round and submits him with ease. Gunnar Nelson is going to be able to do the same thing if he gets the fight down to the ground. The question is if Kevin Holland is going to be able to land on Gunnar Nelson before. I don't see it happening. I see Gunnar Nelson getting the job done because Kevin Holland is so hard to bet on. Next up, we got Jan Blachowicz set to face off against Carlos Ulberg, and a lot of people are backing Carlos Ulberg. Again, I disagree with that. Jan Blachowicz is an absolute warrior. I think people sleep too much on Jan Blachowicz. He is the former champion. He has a lot of power. He's very durable. You know, I don't see a path to victory for Carlos Ulberg. Look how close the fight against Volkan Ozdemir was, and Jan is a way better fighter. The question is, how does he return from the surgery? And assuming that he's made a full recovery, he should get this one done. Carlos Ulberg lost to Kenny Nzechukwu. Jan Blachowicz is a way better fighter, but MMA maths just don't work. So how about this? Jan Blachowicz has good takedowns. If you kick his legs, he'll check him and hurt you. He's technical. He's maybe not be as technical, but he doesn't charge into Carlos Oberg where he can get caught and put out. And that's what Carlos Oberg's game plan is going to be. So I really see Jan Blachowicz getting takedowns and beating Carlos Oberg. And there's so much value on that play. Bet and play is going to be Jan to get it done. I can look absolutely stupid by placing this bet, or I can look like an absolute genius. Now on to the main event where we have Leon Rocky Edwards set the face off against Sean Brady. And Leon is coming off an absolutely terrible performance against Bilal Muhammad. Sean Brady is coming off a nice win against Gilbert Burns. And which version of Leon Edwards are we going to get? Are we going to get Leon Edwards who's actually fighting with purpose? Or are we going to get a Leon Edwards that's deflated and gets taken down relatively easily against a guy who's very similar to his last opponent? Lesser version, but very similar. The striking is clearly in the favor of Leon Edwards. The grappling obviously goes to Sean Brady. Sean shouldn't push Leon to the fence and try to get takedowns there. He should try to stay in the open and get the takedowns. Once he takes Leon down, he's not going to be able to get back up. If Leon Edwards is able to stuff Sean Brady's takedowns and make it a striking bout, I don't see him being able to finish Sean Brady, but Bilal could have, so Leon definitely could. I do see him going by decision anyway, but I'm kind of giving the nod to Sean Brady solely based on the fact that I don't know if Leon Edwards has it anymore. The bet and the play is going to be Sean Brady to get it done. Not too much confidence on this one. Main events have let me down recently, but these have been the picks and plays on UFC Fight Night London. Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. On to the ladder challenge where we are trying to turn $10 into 10,000. We're on week number 4 where we turned $10 into 80 plus. I believe it was 88 bucks. We're taking 80 of it to try to convert it to a much higher value. We got Lonnie Kavanagh to beat Felipe dos Santos. We got Morgan Charriere to beat Nathaniel Wood. And we have Alexia Thainara to beat Molly McCann. It turns $8 into 260. But next week, we're not going to place that 260. We're going to place 160 if it reaches that far. Let's try to keep climbing up this ladder challenge. It's the only thing I got right now because last week was terrible. Be sure to leave a like. Let me know what you think about the video down below. Let me know what you think about the picks, the plays, and everything like that. Subscribe, follow me on TikTok, follow me on Twitter, support the channel on the Patreon, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, game time.